the question was asked to me, who wouldn't want heaven on earth? In other words, who would be distracting and disguising heaven on earth? Well, that depends on the definition of heaven on earth. And the way that I am going to translate heaven on earth, it's a healthy mind and a well-to-do body, a healed body, a restored body, full restoration of health of the body. Which means teeth fully restored, no cavities in the teeth, no fillings in the teeth. The internal organs are fully restored. The DNA facilitates the recuperation of the body internally and externally. And that goes hand in hand with reparation of the external as well. So, in order to do that, would call for the external world on the larger scale or the macro scale, as well as the micro scale, all the way down to the cellular level with the organs and the signaling and communication of the organs. So who wouldn't want that? Would be someone or something that either wants to completely eradicate existence to where they do not have to exist, or something that wants to completely what would be the word? Through fear, because of fear, have I guess the first word that came to mind would be control over life. But I would say more like enslavement of life. Through fear and through ignorance of basically being under a misperception. So that also would combine, because underneath all that is the aspiration to no longer exist. To no longer exist would be to have the capacity for being nothingness. Nothingness includes such things as zero effort, no stress, being totally at rest, which is certainly the good side of it. But the bad side of it is there's no enjoyment, no pleasure, no fun. So because I gotta start heading back here. But so what would be the best of both worlds is to combine restful restoration, as I said, complete restoration of the body, eyesight, and then even have it be where the body has divine properties of basically what the imagination would, a dreamlike imagination, to have life be how one would prefer life to be. And through either technology or through nature, but nature and technology cooperating together so that all desires are met. But the key is, and the key is that when all things are in combination and oneness, there has to be where doing unto others as one would have done unto themselves, which also translates to, if I oppress something else, if I inflict cruelty upon something else, then ultimately that is revisited upon oneself also, whether internally on the organs or in their own life in a way, or mentally and things like that. So a healthy mind and a well-to-do body is being good to oneself, but also passing that on to be good to others as well. Even if one's by themselves somewhere, just the act of breathing in air and exhaling, it helps the plants. So it's basically, it kind of requires no effort to do that. It's the optimum way to do things and be. So a route to get there is to get to heaven on earth, which is a healthy mind and a well-to-do body, is through getting out of perdition, which is another way of saying predation. To get out of predation is no predatory incursion, not inciting predatory incursion, in other words. So in order to do that is to eat of and from what's been called trees of life, the fruits of the trees of life specifically, not the trees themselves, but the fruits of the trees of life. So the fruits of the trees of life are actually, at this moment in time, available as fruit trees, hidden in plain sight, but the revelation is they're fruit trees and seed-bearing herbs and fruits and mutualistic vegetation, such as the examples of which are eating a seed-bearing fruit off of a tree, because when one eats the fruit, they then pass that on, pass the seed through the body, and then fertilize that seed and spread that seed to boost the germination so another fruit tree grows, and there's ongoing foraging, ongoing abundance, and one would never have to be worried about lack of nourishment and sustenance. And then that would also encourage the human being, for instance, to go to a region where the weather is apt for the human body, where the weather is not too hot, not too cold, and grows fruit trees, the trees of life, all year long, and then one can eat the seasonal fruits and would not really need much shelter because the weather would be so apt for the human body. And human body is another way of saying Holy Bible or universe. And the internal and the external, the infinite and the eternal. So when there is no predation in the equation, no predatory behavior, no inciting of predatory incursion, then that goes all the way down to the cellular level as well as the macro level. So the micro, the cellular, the internal organs, the internal infinite, as well as the infinitesimal, as well as the external enormous outer. So because the saying is as within, so without, as above, so below, the Alpha and the Omega, when there's no predatory behavior on the eternal, because of the sources of nourishment and sustenance and resources are mutualistic, holistically, and not predatory, then that actually translates into the internal, infinite, to also be non-predatory and to be mutualistic, where there's mutual benefit and restoration. So that combines having rest and ease with also having enjoyment and enlightenment and encouragement. As well. So the best of both worlds, where it's life is as good as being nothingness. Through the restfulness, the body is fully restored and healed up unto complete full health, but then also maintains that health and well-being into divine properties, divination, divinity, in other words, and cooperating with oneself as well as others or the outer simultaneously. And salvation is attained. Salvation is salve, which is as an ointment, salve, and saving, and salve, and salvation, and healing and restoration of the mind and the body. And then the soul is the soul oneness, as well as the spirit, which is the combination of components